Okay, this video has been a long time coming, and I've tried to record this a while back because about 2 weeks ago I saw a lady made a video that someone told her that if you're pretty and you're broke, then it's your fault. Of course, she disagreed because she interpreted that as meaning you have to disrespect your body to try to get what you want. And I thought, wow, I need to make a video. It would be fun at least to make a video about privileges, because maybe some people don't understand what we mean when we say privilege. Okay, so it's not something where you possess a characteristics and you intentionally use it. Yes, you can intentionally capitalize on your privilege, but it's also something where even when you do not intentionally do it, just because you possess that characteristics, it already works to your advantage. So I thought to make this video in a very fun way as well, by listing out characteristics that I believe could give you privileges and then ranking those characteristics in the order of what I think gives you the most privilege. Of course, this ranking and the list of privilege itself will be based on my own perspective and opinion, so feel free to comment, make your own video about it, stitch this video, and whatever gets the conversation going. Yeah, so just to get right into it, I will try to list out characteristics that I believe could give you privileges first and then rank them afterwards. The first characteristics that I believe you could possess that give you privilege would be your health. The second characteristics would be the race or ethnicity that you're from. The third characteristics could be the country of birth. The fourth characteristics could be the language of birth. Fifth characteristics could be your gender. 6 characteristics could be your physical appearance. 7 characteristics could be your cognitive ability, so your intelligence. And number 8 could be your social class or wealth class. These are the 8 characteristics that I think more or less, it's not necessarily as exhaustive, but more or less. Now, to rank them, I thought about it I thought about it a lot, and I realized that there's one particular characteristics here that it just disrupts the whole ranking, because it just makes the conversation super long. So what I did instead was to split it into 2 different groups. So I now have one group called the foundational characteristics of foundational privilege, and the other one is the structural privilege. And so that's society based as well. And some of these privileges, in fact many of them, you cannot do anything about them, but some of them you can do stuff about them, and for this reason as well, it affects where they rank on the list. So the first privilege that I have to mention is health. Health is everything. So number 1 privilege absolutely is health. Health is wealth, health is life. But to be fair on the other privileges, I've grouped health as a foundational privilege. It's the only privilege in the foundational group, because without it, every other privilege is completely meaningless. So health is our number 1 privilege, and it's a foundational privilege. Now, when we look at the structural privileges, I would rank them starting from number 1, the country of birth. The country that you are born into just opens up all the doors that you can imagine, depending on which country. If you are born into the southern part of the world, for example, if you're born into a poorer country in Southeast Asia or South America or Africa or something like this, the opportunities that are just available for you with all the effort that you're putting in, it's just not as much compared to if you would have been born into a Western country like Germany or something, or the US. That's number 1. Number 2 is, from my perspective, your social class, the wealth class. This I don't need to say anything about this one. Everyone knows it. In Nigeria, we would say nepo baby. If you are born into a wealthy family, you have the absolute privilege. Everything is much easier. Life is a bit more interesting as well. You can take your time. You can explore whatever you would like to. It's never life or death in that sense, compared to what people born into poorer families would have to do. And it's not necessarily just a wealth family, but of course we know that it's a class. Even being born into a middle class family is a privilege. So that's number 2. Number 3, from my perspective, is your race or ethnicity. I think we all know what white privilege is, but that's not even the focus here. I think every race would have privileges depending on the circumstance. And I think we have to recognize that those privileges exist, and it just automatically gives you advantages even though you did not choose which race you were born into. And it's a global phenomenon. Yeah, it's not just white privilege; it's also the privilege of other races as well. Number four, from my perspective, this one I know like it's something you can put effort into knowing stuff. Yeah, so it's your intelligence and your cognitive ability. You can put a lot of effort and time into trying to know stuff, into trying to be good at something. But compared to people that just have the natural affinity or natural cognitive ability, for example, an Isaac Newton or an Albert Einstein, there's so much you can do to get to their level, and you will still never get there because that's a privilege in itself. One of my seniors or one of my bosses at work would always say, look, you only have 24 hours in a day. There is for sure a cognitive cap on what's possible by sheer effort. That's number four for me. So intelligence and cognitive ability. Number five for me is the main reason for making this video, which is pretty privilege, your physical appearance. It matters. Yeah, it's not a one-shot kill or whatever. Yeah, but it's a fuel that drives an engine. So if you have other things, your physical appearance will make a huge difference. There's a lot that you can do about it today with makeup, with dressing right, also for men, going to the gym and so on and so forth. But it does matter. People want to help you more. People want to talk to you more. I think there was a trend about people that lost a lot of weight, and some of them were crying because the world changed from their perspective. People actually notice them. People actually talk to them, and this impacts getting opportunities. It impacts being able to move forward in life. So when that person said, "If you're broke, it's your fault," I think it's just because when you are pretty, doors are more likely to open, and it's your fault if you don't try to get those doors open. Yeah, and that's number five for me. Number six for me is the language at birth. A good example is, take Nigeria for example. Official language in Nigeria is English, right? Because it's a lot of different cultures and languages in the country. Now, if you do not have the privilege to have learned English from childbirth, it's just a much more difficult route to become someone. Yeah, so yes, you can learn the language, that's something that you can change, but having it from birth, born into an English speaking household, already makes a huge difference for you. I'm in Germany and it's the same. If people that are born into a German speaking household and they learn German from beginning, they just have an edge somehow as well in being able to go farther in life quicker. Yeah. That being said, number six, as I said, it's language at birth. And number seven, which is the last structural privilege on my list, it would be gender. I know. A lot of people might probably put gender up ahead and blah, blah, blah. For me, from my perspective, I think gender can swing different ways depending on where you are or what you're looking at. Yeah, there are feminine privileges as much as masculine privileges as well, and any other gender that might exist. It's not something you can choose, but also this is changing a little bit into this world. You can potentially choose which gender you want to identify as, and that potentially also impact the kind of privilege that you would be able to access. But gender would then be my last privilege. Curious to see what you guys' ranking would be based on the list that I've created, but also feel free to create your own list. But I hope this has been helpful somehow.